All right. Welcome to the Road Jogan podcast. I'm your host, Road Jogan. I'm here with great philosophers of mind. And, recently I read this book, right? Artificial You. And, it's got some hot topics in it, right? And, the author Natalie Schneider, she's got some good views, but, she's also got some weird ones. And specifically, I wanted to talk about the idea of uploading your brain, right? Taking your gray, squishy matter, put it on a computer, right? I want to know what you guys think about that because I feel like it's coming or it could be not coming. We got to think about it. So, Tyler, what do you think about that?
Personally, I think it's a fantastic idea. Because I mean, like, sure, there are some problems that people will probably bring up with it, but the idea of having some kind of fail-safe, for say you get run over by a bus, right? And then it's like Rick and Morty where you upload in your little tube in your garage, and then you're good to go again, And I think that having that kind of future where you're able to do that just seems like a fantastic idea, I see no problem with that at all.
See, but don't you think that I mean, yeah, okay, you could get run over by a bus, you could get run over by anything could happen, right?
Yeah.
But at some point, you got to think of what are the repercussions? I don't want okay, think about this. Think about this example. I get run over by a bus.
Mm-hmm.
I die, but then they remake me. But let's say hypothetically, they fix my hospital or that they fix my original body in the hospital, so that it's like two little me's running around, right? What happens then,
Okay.
right? That's one thing the author brings up. She talks about this idea of spatial temporal continuity requirement, which is just a very, very fancy way of saying you can't have two of yourself walking around in the same place. And I think that's true. I think it would definitely create big problems, specifically because who's the real you? Because technically, I mean, I would say you both are, right? They both have your brain, and I think that you are you because of your brain, because your brain's attached to your soul, right? And I think that's what those issues come up, right?
Yeah, I
So
think that's a pretty interesting dilemma that you can run into. But the only thing the only time we're ever gonna learn about that is when we actually reach that point in time. Like we won't know just from speculating what's actually gonna happen. But as Tyler alluded to earlier, it's a very good fail safe to anything. If like something were to happen to you, your family needs you, and you just end up getting in a car accident or something tragic happens. It's just something there for you that. You would essentially just be able to continue your life in some form of way.
yeah,
I
I
could
think
see
it's
that,
go ahead. Go ahead.
but I also feel like you don't really truly know that you'll be able to mimic your brain onto a chip or something like this, because we have a line in the book that says objects that we ordinarily encounter do not normally jump across space-time to new locations in this way. No singular molecule in the brain moves to a computer, but somehow, as if by magic, your mind is supposed to transfer there. How do you truly know that your transfer will go okay and that this new body will actually have you as the brain and not new software or something gets muddled in the middle?
Yeah, I think with that dilemma, I think it depends on what your opinion on what your brain actually might look like. So if you were to take up a patternist perspective, that's the idea that the mind, like your mind is conceived as the set of patterns in your system. And so if you were to copy those patterns of your mind and put them in like a machine, it would be you in that scenario. And so we don't really know if that'd be the case, but I think there's definitely some what's the word, some ideas that point towards that. And so if you were to do that, then even if there's a clone of you, it would still technically be you because it is your pattern. And your pattern is what makes you up. Your memories, your thoughts, your just like how you act and treat other people. It's like if you were to take you and your robot and put them and you interact with both of them, you would think it was you even if it was the robot, or someone else would think it was you even if it was the robot. Which then in that sense, is that still you?
I don't know. I don't know, but I do have another follow-up question, right? And I think it's something important to talk about, this idea of having yourself stored somewhere else. And yes, okay, I agree that it'd be nice to like, I'm not ready to go. My time is not now, but I have a backup so I can rejuvenate myself. But remember when Tesla came out with their self-driving stuff, and they're like, people are gonna hack it. They're gonna hack it, and they're gonna find out how to hack my car and kill me, right? If you're people have this idea that, you know, if something's stored on a computer somewhere, someone can hack it, which in some cases is true, right? It depends who you ask. But do you think that it'd be possible for someone to find my brain upload, like kind of mess with it, and not tell anyone, so then when I come to use that brain upload, I'm all whacked out, right? That's, you think that's a possibility?
I think that's very a reasonable concern, at least, because people, when they want to be malicious, they're going to be malicious in some way or another. And messing with somebody's brain upload would probably be a pretty significant offense. So there would have to be some like measures in place by the government or something that would at least like hold those like that data accountable somewhere, or hold it somewhere that it's secure and can't be accessed like very easily. At least that's what I would say from that point.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say like at least that. I'd say that if you people do malicious things all the time, right? This is the world. It's less of the question of, you know, we're going to have regulations if they have them. It's more of the question of, should we even do it in the first place? Because that, I mean, this could be huge. Like it could, if we're assuming that, you know, you upload your brain, it's conscious, it's you, but then someone like actually tampers with the inner workings of it, that could be a huge repercussion of something that we've never seen before, right? And the only way to really truly prevent that is to just not do it at all, right? And so that's a view that I kind of have, right? Because I don't want someone going in there and touching my brain with tweezers.
Yeah.
It's kind of like
you-
allowing like a surgeon to operate on your open brain without your consent, right?
Yeah. Could you argue as well then that a lot of the things that we interact with now, like social media and the attention economy, that kind of deal, could you argue that that is also in some sense hacking your brain or like breaking things? I mean, obviously not in the same way as it would be as actually modifying your brain structure in the code, but like I think those systems definitely do modify
That's true. Yeah.
your brain and your thoughts and your opinions in a different way.
I feel like our normal day-to-day lifestyle, like as the years go on, will always like show who we truly are. But I feel like putting our brain in a different medium, we just do not know the implications of how that could really affect us yet. I feel like things like daily life and social media with things like that.
I mean,
I
to that point, I will say, to that point, if we're scared of what's going to happen, so we don't do it, we're getting nowhere, right? That's not how America works. We do it because we want to see what happens. We ask for forgiveness, not for permission. So, well, I don't know. I still stand with the idea that it's, you know, it's not good. And I think the last thing, something I want to conclude with, something in the book that Schneider brought up, that's kind of probably one of our hottest ideas. I guess it was an idea, it's an opinion or so, that, you know, when you have more than one you, the idea how we started this podcast, you have more than one you that both believe the original. Um, what do we do with one of them? Right, you can't just kill the other one. But in the book, she's like, you know, you can just send it out to space. Nah, I don't think so, right? I don't think you can just do that. But what something that I was thinking, like, when you can get in the dilemma of, you have two yous, they both believe that they're the original you because they both have the original copy of the mind. And if you, I'm sure there's going to be metadata, just like there's metadata on pictures of who's older, whose body has been on this earth for longer, right? So what happens if you become a copy, and then they're like, okay, your other original person is still here and you are newer, so you need to go because like your body shows that it's newer. So now it's you gotta go back to the cloud, right? You think that's, again, huge moral dilemma.
Yeah.
Well, that was just my closing remarks. I know we're over on time now, so this has been the Road Jogan podcast. I hope you enjoy it. Jamie, shut us down.